Hi there, welcome to Daytime, everyone. I'm Cyndi Edwards.
And I'm Lindsay McDonald. Thanks for joining us today.
We are starting things off today with something that's sadly a fact of life for many students, bullying. And if they aren't being bullied, they're witnessing others being harassed.
Is it just something kids need to learn to deal with, or is there something we can actually do to eliminate the problem entirely? Well, our first guest says yes to both questions.
Jennifer Hancock is the author of The Bully Vaccine, and she joins us now. Jennifer, good to have you here again.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Can anything be done about bullying?
Yes, absolutely. We just need to teach the kids what to do and how to do it. It's fairly simple to teach them. The problem is right now we're sending them to school hoping they figure it out on their own. And what we should be doing is teaching them how to handle it.
We also depend on adults to keep them safe, and we assume that's going to happen.
But the dynamic between it's between the bully and the victim. So there's only so much the adults can do, and what the adults should be doing is teaching the skills to the kids so that they can manage those relationships on their own. Learning how to deal with difficult people is one of the most important life skills our kids can learn.
True.
And we're not teaching it to them explicitly. We're saying, figure it out on your own. And we need to stop telling them, figure it out on your own, or just stand up for yourself as if that means anything to a kid.
Right.
And teach them, this is what you say, this is how you say it. We are going to practice it before you go back to school. And this is, I think, the most important thing that I want to get across to people is have your child practice what to say and how to say it. Make them repeat it back to you 10, 12 times in a 5-minute period. Say, oh, you're stinky. What do you say? You know, and have them repeat back what they want to say and practice it, because if they do not practice it, they're not going to be prepared when they go back to school and it happens to them again.
Okay, but a lot of people that have been bullied know that it depends what you say that can either make the bullying progress, or, you know, it can stop the situation. So what do you say? How do you stop it?
It depends on whether what's happening is teasing, whether what's happening is a threat of violence, or whether what's happening is actual violence. What you say depends on the situation. I've told my son, if someone's threatening with violence, you say, if you do that, I will report you.
Now, your son apparently has taken your lessons and used them himself. So how did he deal with his bully?
Well, when he was in kindergarten last year, you know, he got teased, and that happens. It's not like the kids are bad kids. They just do that. Well, I taught him, say this: thank you very much for that information. It's very helpful. Look them straight in the eye and repeat it as necessary until the bullying stops. And it only took 2 or 3 times for the kids to stop.
Because they're not the child's not feeding in.
Right, he's not giving them the reward that the bully wants. This year, when he's in 1st grade, and I think the 2nd or 3rd day of school, one of the kids started teasing one of his friends to the point that the other kid was crying, and my son just started lecturing that kid about compassion and responsibility and how we're all the same. You don't treat people that way. And he said the kid turned on him, and he just continued lecturing the kid. And that's a product of my son now having the confidence to know he can handle a difficult person and not be flustered by it. So he's now in a point where he can stand up for other kids, and that's really the key. You don't need a lot, because once he stood up, another kid, actually two other kids supported him in protecting the victim.
And is that how we actually deal with bullying too? Because you say, hey, is it just one of those things that kids have to learn how to deal with?
It is something they have to learn how to deal with, but we should be teaching them how to deal with it and teaching them the skills on how to stand up once they've learned that skill. It's not just that they're protected. They now have a moral obligation to pass that on to others and to share their knowledge and to pass it on with others, just as we adults do.
Yeah.
Right? We need to learn the skills, we need to share those skills, and then we need to pass it on to someone else.
All right, Jennifer Hancock, author of The Bully Vaccine. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on again.
All right, coming up on Daytime, Sam talks to Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena about their new movie, End of Watch.
And they're also going to tell Sam what it was like to get tased. Ouch.
Yeah, that's not nice.
We'll be right back.